I started playing basically 50 years ago, and at that point you could have a record deal as Captain Beefheart or Roy Harper or John Cale or Richard Richard Thompson, you know, all those people, or my beloved Syd Barrett, people who would only sell like 5,000 records, but you could gig off that.
But that was okay at the time, right? Yeah.
And so by the time I got going, you know, Top of the Pops wasn't cool. The idea of being a pop star wasn't particularly cool. Bowie and Ferry and everybody came up, but I already thought, yeah, I could just be some sort of folky guy wafting about, doing what I do. I don't know. I mean, the other answer is just that it's an intensity. It's like a laser beam. If you're really into it, it hits you very strongly. So my stuff either hits people right in the third eye, or they just don't get it at all.
Well, the reality is you were never about commercial success. The music was never about trying to become a big star.
No, but I think it upset a few record companies to discover that. But
but think about, so there were moments, but think about where you are now and think about where the business is now. Somebody who does, as you say, who kind of wafts about and plays and will make a record from time to time, but largely gets by on moving from location to location, playing this music for people who are magnetized, right? That is an asset. That's a feature and not a bug as far as the music business goes now. The burden on you to sell a whole lot of records or to be a commercial success has more or less been eliminated by the music business today.
Well, I suppose in some ways, I've outlived the music business. Right. But, you know, music and business are two words that don't really belong together. They're like President and Trump. You know, they just like, well, this does not compute.
We're only allowed to talk about Boris Johnson here on this show.
So. Or Boris and Johnson. I'm afraid even worse. I mean, that's one of the great things about Britain and America. We keep having the same afflictions. You know? I live here, but you know, there's the same parallel pain in Britain.
Right.
But the plus side of it is that Britain and America were the great collaborators in rock music or rock and roll or whatever it was, you know, the Beatles and Dylan cross-pollinating and spawning the birds and so on and all that, just, you know, as is in the books. No, I think, and what you're talking about probably comes a lot from the fact that I spent a long time on indie labels. I wasn't reliant on majors to get going. I was never successful with big budgets. My weakest records have always been when there's been money to spend on.
When there were lots of stakes.
When there were lots of people, you know, pouring money into a drum sound.